Development Policy Forum. It was at Kampala Serena Hotel, where government is trying to highlight how they come in to support the creative arts sector directly in the planning of the country. Now, the docket in charge of planning for Uganda is the National Planning Authority. Which sat down netunuulira nekola diagnosis okulaba bizibu ki ebiri mu industry eno tubayambye tutya as a starting point, to the different conversations that have been ongoing with the creatives saying government tetufaako tetulabirira, and yet they come around and of course ask for taxes and different other things. So this is one of the steps, and that meeting or engagement was supposed to also have the Prime Minister, Honorable Nabanja, but of course so many stakeholders participated. Of course, the underlying
creatives, Dagi, I think what you need to make clear, and also what she said,
yes,
is the 8 domains
yes
of the
creative industry.
It's not just the artists.
It's not only the artists.
Yeah.
Because what I'm sure of, the artists who's out there watching, they might think all this money and stuff.
Billion went to artists.
Yeah. Actually, Wagambia, it is a grant, and then why are they paying back with interest?
I think Bujingo was there. We're going to talk to Bujingo. Bujingo, for starters, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. 8 dominions. Soko zitumenyere omuntu ali aleme closer mu center abayimbi bonayo bazitutte.
Actually, zikyaliwo zonna, no one has tewali yakutte ku sente ezo ziri ku ministry, zigenda kuba ku ministry billion 28. Zigenda kubeera mu circles, national circles zonna zaba creative, all the domains, sigamba bayimbi bokka. It's a fund for all creatives, not only musicians, because wabadde misconception ever nti creativity is about musicians only, but no, the 8 domains nga minister bayogedde. So we will all be able to access money at a very, very small interest rate. Kubanga banks zibale tezituwa nti newoba n'omuzanyo oba ina film gyagala okukola oba ina concert oba ina ekintu kyo promoting, you couldn't go anywhere to get funding. But right now we have a pool that we can all access as creatives, all of us nationally, not only in Kampala, and all creatives, from all comedians, filmmakers, abasiga, abawandisi b'ebifaananyi, quite all the domains.
So
we're so excited
for purposes of clarity, Huntington, can you just break down for our viewer what are these domains of the creative arts industry in Uganda, like particularly? Just list them for us.
The 8 domains.
The 8 ones.
The 8.
Offhand, twina performing arts, mubeera abazanyi b'emizanyo, which then of course twina music, twina culinary oba emmere, n'emmere nayo is a part of the creatives, twina fashion and design, twina the poets, twina ba visual artists, twina ba writers, filmmakers. It's really domains ziri mwenda nyizo kuba utazimala zonna, but the entire bagita creative culture and creative industries.
Isn't that too broad?
Right now, actually, the 28 billion is just a small bit, but what you should be excited about is this: what we've been lobbying for from National Cultural Forum, Uganda National Cultural Center, but taking a planning. And I used to come there and we are fighting to be on the national planning plan. Now we're excited. For years, we've been campaigning like over 15 years. Now the creative and culture industries is now a sector recognized by government, and government has voted through National Planning Authority to be planning for us and putting us in the budget every financial year starting this year.
Huntington, the money being allocated by the National Planning Authority is something that we can clap our hands on. But also we need to understand that Sente Olumuzibula through these structures. How do we make sure 28 billion zituka kuchaliwange kabako wano?
What's the structure you're using per domain, we could say?
That is your work between me and you. What twagala ngazi wezibadde zijja ne bagamba baziwadde ate abantu nga fena tetubenefiting almost. So what we are doing era nti the National Planning Authority yagambye, because UNCC is the statutory body of government that takes all the art where all these things should be run. Netubadde this organization naye katwagalira National Planning Authority Director Dr. Mvala yatugambye we need to amend the UNCC Act. Because the UNCC Act is very old. It was done in 1959. The law we are working on is 1959, so it doesn't empower us. So we are also going to try and amend it. Of course, it's a process. It's a long process. Mulaba copyright JD tena provide. Then we're gonna tandika. But for now, we are going to work with all the bodies. The Natural Culture Forum here now, of course, big representation. The Eddie Kenzo Federation, UMA, all the bodies. We will consult widely. It's the ministry in charge. But all of us are going to be involved to make sure that everyone benefits. Just it's a segment, it's a clique of few people. So we will consult widely, of course, with the minister, the UNCC, National Culture Forum, Federation, because you are all stakeholders, all of us, so that everyone benefits from this fund.
So before amending, what comes first, getting the funds or amending? Because it looks like you can't get the funds before you amend.
No. The funds will be gotten. The amendment takes long. It can take 3 years, 4 years. So we can't guarantee, can't be waiting.
So how do you drop the money?
The money
to the
is available this
particular
financial year. The money is there.
How do you drop the money?
Pardon?
How do you drop the money to the particular, can I say, associations without amendment of how that money is going to move?
No. The amendment is about the law, the act. The act needs to be empowered so that UNCC that has a statutory obligation has many powers to volunteer. UCC took away the Stage Plays Act from UNCC. Yes, it was there, but because the law was also, they hijacked it. So but that law or the act doesn't stop identifying people. Already we have platforms where we can identify people. Waliwonga National Culture Forum, Walo UNCC, Walo Federation, UMA, we all know our members. Even the visual artists have associations. So through that, we'll be able to go to the circles into Gamma. This one comes, of course, we know eligibility kufuna loan, elanga bibera letter ID, ebikogera ko bingi nyo minister jakwe biteka with the UNCC forum ngafina tukolera wamu so that everyone benefits from this.
Wanondabanga National Culture Forum is more on the forefront because most of these associations, together in one place. That federation is okuba more about the artists, but I think National Culture Forum is CGH fan of the entire industry. Do you think it's the one going to take center stage over it is Kenzo's side?
It will be the ministry to first hierarchy nga bitambule jakubera ministry first kuba taking agenda, then UNCC kuba ina statutory body, then UNCC will work with the National Culture Forum because National Culture Forum edimu policy ya 2006 so katubabo ba ina representation ya associations zona, then which agenda jona yotwala UNCC ne forum and then identify the circles because we don't want ghost or people getting money that shouldn't be gotten. Then tutaniko gaba sente kubanga forum ya ina representation ja domains jenda zona
nganda banga bagendo kwekuba
UNCC, then the forum, and then the
Bujingo.
forum will trickle down to the different associations.
nganda banga bagendo kwekuba ani azigaba omanyi asavinga we wali obuzibu
domain jefuna meka ani afuna.
That's why many of us artists tuli ku board twagala kicha ku streamlining kuba usually abantu abadde batukola usually babulete bali ba artists many times gatele be baselo kubisano kudenu. So we will meet, and we are planning to meet all of us and get a fair way of how this money is going to twagala gamba. We want to minimize that collusion as much as possible because we know our problems and we know ourselves. So we will need to meet, then we move together.
But also splitting that money. Also sanga abayimbi, the ones like from that.
bagamba bebachirwanira.
Bagamba first we have to take the bigger
Share.
Portion and stuff.
And on top of that, Bujingo, you've talked about the interest rate of them getting this money, and then they have to it's like do you mind giving us like a clear view about it?
Is it more like a circle?
Yeah.
No. Oh.
Because the minister said
it's more like a circle. They are availing us capital that other institutions don't avail us because we've been crying for capital. Capital so again mu banka so what they are saying, they're putting a fund for us on the side. Nti Bujingo nyina film million nga 3 jagala jikola. So what are the criteria of me? Tebana be specifying ananga sibina offhand right now, but those are things that we're going to go through to be able to put easy access that twagala to berenga bank at a temple later chapa later security because many of us don't have those things. But it's our art, it's our talent that stands for us. So tujagenda tulabenga okwakulizo sibungi nnyo. But we urge all people who will access this money because the interest will be little. I still don't know it. nti ate bw'ozitwala bambi gezaako okumeka sure ati ziupe mpola mpola n'omulala omuto oba 10 years from now 5 years azifunamu because the fund will be increasing per year. That's what we think.
Bujingo omuntu wabbanga ki okusasula?
Ebyo sinabitegeera bulungi naye still the ministry will come through with a guideline. The minister didn't break down because it's just starting, so I can't answer that. Okay. But we will plan and make sure that at least we get favorable terms for all creatives.
You know, Baba.
Business ya mangukuza. So we will get a conducive way.
Abadina what I call ideas is start matching an association ziriwo nengo omulaba mukaba ku muyimbi aina CV ya muyimbi. How do they get this money if they're not plugged to an association?
No, it's impossible because katira and tosola katina we got to sort of genda wantu ngobato ina security obanga to ina, so everyone has to belong to association because we want to bring order no kolerawa.
Oh, he went off.
Baba mukubidde.
Yeah, I think it's the network. But also Douglas, you know me what I saw also, you know, like here. Now like if you look at the federation, it also has a circle because Bujingo said like, you know, it's more like a circle. Yeah. So now like me, if I'm an artist and I'm very smart in solo Ghanaians jams also could jam circle federation and still you can also get money from that other circle. You get? Are you getting what I'm saying?
Like no bango registered in woman the federation.
Yeah, because also like you see also like the the federation.
Federation is not an association.
No, they have an association.
Do you think? I think they just be organized.
Federation is different from an association. UMA is the association.
Yeah.
Federation ina association zayo under, but also UMA has its own structures.
Bujingo is back here.
Bujingo, just for purposes of clarity,
you can go in a federation. Remember, it has a circle. If you're an artist,
I think
you can go there and borrow money. Not so.
I doubt.
What we wanted clarity on is Eddie Kenzo's federation in a circles zebakola ya across.
Countrywide.
I know you're not in the best person to speak about the artist structures and all that, yeah? But I know you understand the challenge, yeah? Chokane UMA yagena nekola associations eziri regional. So which one of them best represents omuyimbi
the entire country?
The entire country. Omuyimbi agende direction.
I think to bainokolagana wamu because I don't think obakati kirungi abayimbi abali mu UMA bayinza kubanga tebali mu federation. So of course nti wobo funyelo ntosobola kola you are the same person, you are using the same documents, so you will decide where you belong. Comfortable federation, the federation will be empowered and they will have money they will access, and then it will go on to UMA. So every association is Jakuba catered for. So they will continue there. Now you cannot get from both.
They are going to put structures in different like districts. No, and I say like, how did you call it?
The minister said that part of the money is going to funding infrastructure
countrywide.
Countrywide. Cultural centers.
In fact.
Building cultural centers around the world.
Ezo zili ku 28 billion.
No. It was 28 billion strictly circles.
Okay.
Government now has identified the culture and creative industries as an independent sector. Agriculture, planning, defense, planning, education. But now this is what has now gotten. This is what we've been fighting for. So right now we are onto the national planning agenda, all budget. In the 18 centers, they are not on the 28. Bagana own regions. We're going to build centers into Gulu. I'm giving you an example. Maybe they'll put Gulu in the north, Obambali in the east. So they're going to be 18 countrywide. Uzimba centers, different money, and also skilling. Skilling, and it's not only it's a capital funding, which is a circle skilling. The skilling mechanism will get, and then now the actual infrastructure, both on digital and in the physical buildings, got theaters across the country.
Infrastructure is much needed, yeah.
So like now, I think the biggest banger now is that we are on the national cake, yeah. So whatever we need, we give to them, and they plan for us. Yeah,
going forward, every year we are going to be in the budget. We'll have money cater for the culture and creative industries. Tujja kuba tuplaninga bola agriculture and about decent waste into all our defense education. So we are also going to be like this because we are now into the national planning strategy of ADWO, NDP4.
Okay.
It's going to take us, I think, up to 2060.
Kale, Annington, faba skilling tuyingirira muwa.
Faba skills clinic.
They're going to be step by step.
Okay.
So of course will get partners at Purple Skills Foundation. So it will be many because it's national. It's not only Kampala, it's everywhere across the country.
National, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Annington. Yeah. Katulabe nti sente zivaayo ate zikola that which is has been purposed. Ate nabo bazongereko.
Musibula amaso, you guys also kubagala twagala ate batutwale ko mugula amaso, you the journalists, all of us.
Anti akabadike mukola.
Annington, it goes to the right people who has to boost the sector because it's us, all of us. It's everyone's
akabadike mukola
involved and tadde amaso.
Fetubera ono tupush.
No tugamba tugule eriiso ate mwe wali eri ne mu movinga chess piece.
Nalaba sente wezijja out chivira mufe.
Let's run a break. Let's run a break. It is MBS After 5, understanding the creative arts industry. But I want to appreciate the government for that effort. Yeah. At least other governments have been trying to do this. The South African government has done that. Nigerian government has done that.
Tanzania.
Even Kenya is moving towards that direction.
How about Rwanda? How is
Rwanda, yes, they are.
I think we need somebody from Rwanda to give us how the policy in Rwanda works.
Yeah, they have the policy.
Because Boba Lingati watanso kuduka speed. Something right they're doing.
No, but you can clearly see their government is hands-on when it comes to the entertainment industry. They've been doing these festivals, like the Global Star Festival.
Yeah, and the government comes in.
But let me tell you something about
John Legend.
Yeah.
So it just looks like the government is involved. Is like hands-on when it comes to
and they say those guys don't perform in bars. They do big shows on
they're quite big celebrities. They're even like hanging out in bars.
They don't hang out.